The story begins in the late 1980s, a time when punk was underground, MTV still played music, and no one had yet invented TikTok. In a small town called Rodeo, California, two teenagers decided to make music that sounded like rebellion, heartbreak, and too much caffeine. This is the story of Green Day, the band that made punk accessible, political, and occasionally operatic. It all started when Billie Joe Armstrong and Mike Dirnt met in middle school. They bonded over punk records, boredom, and a mutual dislike of authority. They formed a band called Sweet Children in 1986, but when they started playing at the Berkeley's legendary 924 Gilman Street, a punk collective that banned anything too commercial, they changed their name to Green Day, slang for spending the day doing, herbal activities. Their first EP, 1,000 Hours, in 1989, was recorded for $700, which is roughly the cost of one Billie Joe eyeliner pencil today. Next, we're going to talk about their first two albums, 39 Smooth in 1990 and Kerplunk in 1991. Green Day signed with Lookout Records, a tiny punk label with a big heart and a small budget. Kerplunk sold over 50,000 copies, a huge number for an indie punk band, and caught the attention of major labels. Fun fact, the last track on Kerplunk is a cover of The Who's My Generation. Foreshadowing much? Oh yes. But when Green Day signed with Reprise Records, the Gilman Street scene called them sellouts. Green Day didn't care, they just wanted to play louder, faster, and get free pizza on tour. Next, we're going to talk about the big punk explosion that was Dookie. It sold over 20 million copies worldwide, won a Grammy for Best Alternative Album, and turned punk rock into mainstream gold. With songs like Basket Case, Longview, Burnout, and When I Come Around, Green Day became the voice of every confused, sarcastic 90s teenager. Fun fact, the title Dookie was inspired by the band's tour's stomach problems. Yes, it's literally named after poop. Their Woodstock 94 performance ended with a mud fight that became legendary and got Billie Joe tackled by security who thought he was a fan. Green Day had arrived, filthy, loud, and unstoppable. Now we're going to go into their next three albums, Insomniac in 95, Nimrod in 97, and Warning in 2000. After Dookie, the band faced the impossible task of following up a generational masterpiece. Insomniac was darker, faster, and angrier. Punk fans loved it, but the mainstream didn't know what to do with songs about meth and anxiety. Then came Nimrod, where Green Day decided to experiment. Ska, surf rock, acoustic ballads, and of course, Good Riddance, the song that played at every high school graduation for the next decade. Fun fact, Billie Joe wrote Good Riddance years earlier, but the band thought it was too soft. Joke's on them, it became their biggest song ever. Next, we're going to talk about American Idiot in 2004. It was a concept album about suburban disillusionment, politics, and teenage rage. Sold over 16 million copies and revived Green Day's career and made them global icons. After a scrapped album called Cigarettes and Valentines mysteriously disappeared, possibly stolen, possibly cursed, Green Day started over and made a masterpiece. The album's main character, Jesus of Suburbia, was inspired by Billie Joe's own frustration with American culture. Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Holiday, and Wake Me Up When September Ends became anthems of a generation fed up with politics and conformity. Green Day went from punk brats to rock prophets, eyeliner and all. Next, we're going to talk about 21st Century Breakdown, another rock opera, even grander and more theatrical. Won a Grammy for Best Rock Album. This time, the story followed Christian and Gloria, two lovers navigating a broken world. It was ambitious, political, and full of riffs that could level a city. With songs like Know Your Enemy, this album was just great. Green Day also turned American Idiot into a Broadway musical, proving that punk can, in fact, wear jazz hands. Then came the Uno Dos Tres trilogy in 2012. 3 albums released in quick succession. It was a bold idea. Maybe should have been one really good album. In another world. Next, we're going to talk about Revolution Radio in 2016, a return to form, and it tackled themes of protest, media chaos, and personal reflection. After a few rocky years in Billie Joe's rehab stint, Green Day came back swinging, older, wiser, and still loud. The title track Revolution Radio was inspired by the Black Lives Matter protests and the idea of finding unity through chaos. Next, we're going to talk about their next album in 2020 titled Father of All Motherfuckers. I'm not kidding. Short, wild, and glam rock inspired, featured Billie Joe's falsetto and a unicorn on the cover. Critics were confused, fans were divided, but Green Day did not give a fuck. They were having fun again. Billie Joe described the album as messy rock and roll for messy times. Mission accomplished. In 2024, the band would release their latest album, Saviors, a return to their classic sound, blending the political punch of American Idiot with the youthful energy of Dookie. Decades later, Green Day still sounds like its soundtrack to Teenage Rebellion, only now the teenagers have mortgages. From the Gilman Street punk scene to sold-out stadiums, Green Day turned three-chord rebellion into a lifelong revolution. They've been called sellouts, saviors, and everything in between, but through it all, they never stopped being themselves. Loud, honest, and unapologetically weird. That is how three punks from California conquered the world, one power chord at a time. I hope everyone here enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this. Catch you guys in the next one.